consciousazine.com Chronicles.
Hello, it's Benjamin Kallenberg from www.consciousazine.com. I'm just going to keep making these videos on the robotic portals versus organic portals anytime I can think of a few differences. Instead of just making one huge video, I've decided just to make a few little videos whenever I think of a few little points. And I just finished that last video on the differences between robotic and organic portals, and I thought of more. The robotic portal also, I've noticed, will be able to give you heart murmurs. The energy they push into you is less dense than the organic portal, is what I can begin to say. I'll have to meditate on this more and think about it. But, you know, it's like a more complex, I dare say lighter, quicker, faster energy that comes into you from a robotic portal when they're trying to pierce into your aura and psychically record your thoughts and so on. And they do this, they listen to you. And, you know, we're all psychic beings, so when you're using a human body as a interdimensional alien or whatever, through a robotic portal or organic portal, you can psychically pick up information. Anyway, so the robotic portal, I've noticed, it's light codes, or it's packets of viruses, infections that it tries to send through your aura is more intense, more algorithmic and complex. And that's always the main theme between a robotic and organic portal. They're more complex than the organic portal. It's almost as if, you know, as we approach the singularity, you know, mechanical singularity of the man-machine binding stuff, or AI becoming consciousness, whatever your definition of the singularity is, we're approaching all of those. So it's like one giant sensory singularity. As we approach the singularity, it appears that you know, the dark side has created robotic portals because the organic portals just weren't enough to keep us down, us souled vectors, as spirited vectors of the universe. Now, what I've noticed is that they will pierce you more. They do their own pierce healing, except it's pierce virus infection. And I'm referring to a video where I said one way to heal from organic portal attack is pierce healing and robotic portal attack, and that's 7th dimensional pierce healing, bringing out sound within yourself basically and pushing the sound outward so that you run your own DNA and you code your own DNA with your own music instead of their viruses incoming and their incoming incident hard radiation and viruses and whatever they're doing to you. Look, when they pierce into you, it's like virus-natured, and when you do pierce healing on yourself from the inside out, then it's like musically toned, beautiful for your DNA. So a difference between robotic portals and organic portals is, like, they're always more complex, and I've noticed they're the ones that can give me the heart murmurs. They can push an energy into your field, and so instead of just pushing inward on you, like an organic portal will push in on your aura. They're very heavy. Organic portals make up most of the muscle of the matrix, the bitchmen, and you know, the robotic portal is more held back from that sort of nature of activity. They don't group up. They're not part of the ganging up. They're like the special agents, the robotic portal. You know what I'm saying? They're like the ones that are sent from a higher place to get closer to you, like a Secret Service agent sort of thing. And a lot of Secret Service agents, so to speak, in the real world, well, let's say the third dimensional world, in society, they will be robotic portals a lot of the time, because they have to be a bit smarter, and the organic portals are quite like stupid, dull and dumb and simple. So there's really the main differences of robotic portals, the simplicity factor. So the robotic portal, I've noticed, will try to pierce into your aura and then push the laminar flows and fuck the laminar flows of your aura from the inside of your aura. It's like they inject a bomb on the inside. And the organic portal, remember I said, will try and drill into you and push onto your aura more. And they'll try and push the laminar, the auric layers together, which stuffs up the laminar flows, which will then in turn obviously stuff up the planar flows, because you've got extra energy and stuff's going on there. You know, then if the auric layers get squashed together, then there's interference, and this allows them to enter. Now the robotic portal, I've noticed, yeah, they can do that, but they seem to spend more time trying to look for a hole. See, they're more algorithmic, you see it now? They don't just come with a dense sort of caveman-like method of just pushing your aura. They come with a more finesse angle, and they look for a weak spot in your aura, then they enter through that, and then it's like they insert a virus and it explodes within your aura. So that's what robotic portals do more. Very interesting, isn't it? It took me a few years to really catch what was going on, the differences, but start to be sensitive and discern this and notice. Yeah, and so via that method of, like, I'll call it putting a bomb in your aura, they'll put in like a virus infection, and that will explode. Now the virus infection, remember, has its own code and its own light. Now, in the meantime, while they're doing this inner work on your aura, they can be outwardly distracting you, you know, and get a lot of awkwardness going on. This is the surface virus, because it's never relaxed, really. It's always anxious. And, you know, they love to build anxiety because that decoheres your aura at the same time. And, you know, that does a lot of stuff that they can work with at the same time. So they love that whole decoherence factor as well, while they're trying to drill into your aura. And it's always like there's a lot of anxiety. Remember, they steal your energy when you hit the 0 point. There is no sleep around organic portal or robotic portals. No proper deep wave delta state. You may get to theta if you're lucky. But there's no deep delta state, because as soon as you're in delta, they have to pull from that. They start pulling, and then that automatically takes you out of your delta wave because they disrupt you. And so they start pulling you back up to the surface, and pulling you back to the surface is akin or analogous to pulling you back up to beta brainwave. And you'll notice in beta brainwave is where you get anxiety, and you're more on the surface then. You're more your body then. When you go into deep delta, you're less your body, you're more OBE, out of body experiencing. And this is when they really start to pull, because then they have direct access through you to the plenum, to the 0 point, you know, and to the intelligible higher dimensional light post-threshold across the next eye, which is the intelligent light, the higher light, you know, the 7th and 8th dimensional lights. These are where the code occurs. Like the 8th dimension I called the code coordination dimension. And, you know, they want to get directly to the code so that they can evolve past souled humans. That's ultimately their desire, yeah? You know, when they become the Borg, I dare say they already are, but when they're more like the Borg in Star Trek, you know, their whole idea is to dominate everyone and everything, yes? That's the ultimate goal. So this is why they extract information through us souled humans. And I've noticed in deep delta, you know, around a robotic portal, I can never stay there. They seem to like have some kind of code which instantly lets them know when you've hit the 0 point. whereas the organic portal will notice a bit slower. It'll take a few more seconds, and then they'll start to slowly niggle and annoy you. The robotic portal is very quick. Oh, that they've hit 0 point, start stealing energy, you know, and it's like that. So the robotic portals are more finesse, more quicker, faster, a little bit more what you might call intelligible. You know, it's because they're working with so-called smart, I'll laugh at that, but smart algorithms, you know. Well, it is somewhat smart because their information has come from us, the souled humans, yeah. But, you know, they may not have correctly constructed the algorithms. Anyway, so they're always like different. I can feel them different, how they work on you. So you've just got to notice who is a robotic and organic portal in your life. This is video 2 on the differences between robotic portals and organic portals. Now, just very quickly, I'm watching the Royal Institute video, The Science of Voices in Your Head, with Charles Fernyhough. Now, this relates to the robotic and organic portal theme, I realised. Now, here, let me explain to you what's on the screen first. This is the bilateral gyrus, there, the 2 red bits. This apparently fires when someone speaks, you know when you speak to yourself under your breath in your head, so to speak. These are what fires when you do it naturally. However, in studies, the left inferior gyrus, here in red, will fire more in studies when they tell the participant of the study, the testee, to think under their breath. So this is all about, you know, voices in your head and studies about that. And he's going over what happens when they do it naturally, a person, and what happens when you tell someone in a study, okay, now do the voice in your head, and the difference. So this would be organic portal region, how they would work, right? And this would be more the souled human. So maybe these are outward differences that will help us discern in the future. Just a quick note there.